New tonight, ABC 15 sitting down for an exclusive television interview with U.S. Senate candidate Ruben Gallego to go over the issues. Viewers like you have made it very clear that you want to know where candidates stand on the issues, and ABC 15 is committed to bringing you those interviews. We've already done so with Gallego's top opponents, and we'll do this with other big races as well, all leading up to November. So tonight, Ben Brown with our ABC 15 political team, bringing us up to speed on the state of Gallego's campaign.
And of those 10 years, I've passed bipartisan. Gracias.
Sitting in the back of one of his favorite local joints, El Mesquite Cocina Mexicana.
And just roll it up and dip it into your frijoles and tell me if it's not one of the best things you ever tasted.
Congressman Ruben Gallego explained why he wants to make the switch from the House to the Senate.
Congress is a very hard institution. You are trying to get laws passed with 435 people. In the Senate, there's things that we could be doing right now to be helping everyday Arizonans.
As the election ramps up, the economy, immigration, and reproductive rights are some of Gallego's top priorities heading into November.
It's been one of the least productive Congresses in recent decades. What gives voters confidence that if you go to the Senate, they elect you for the Senate, that you're going to be able to get legislation passed?
You know, it is difficult, but one of the things that I've been able to do is get legislation passed, even though the Republicans are in charge of the House. For example, I passed out of the House the Native American Child Protection Act, a bill that was actually sponsored and started by John McCain. We got out of the House, and now it's waiting on the Senate side.
For inflation, the economy by metrics is doing pretty well. Yeah. But like you said, people don't necessarily feel that when they go to the grocery store or the gas pump. Do you think the Biden administration is doing enough?
I do think they need to be talking more about how they're going to keep fighting to bring the costs down. We need to bring the price of gasoline down. I was very happy to pass Inflation Reduction, which brought pharmaceutical costs down for seniors, but we still have a long way to go, and some of that is corporate greed.
When it comes to immigration, Gallego said he wants a secure border and would increase Border Patrol, customs officers, and asylum judges.
We also just need to increase the amount of ports of entry because it's killing our economy, the fact that we can't bring as much trade as we want in and out.
Gallego also weighed in on the high cost of education. He wants to see restrictions put on tuition and supports loan forgiveness, a one-time fix across the board for borrowers who have been making payments.
Put a cap on it.
Put a cap, or not a cap necessarily, that can only rise with inflation, right? We need to bring down the cost of college debt. Why is the United States government loaning out student loans at 7%? I don't think it should be zero, but it certainly can be something that is manageable.
As for mental health, being a veteran himself, Gallego has prioritized veteran care. He also says private companies need to be doing more to ensure everyone has access to therapy if they want it.
People that I've talked to, that want to go to therapy, they can't afford it because, yes, health insurance covers a portion of it, but that portion is so small.
A lot of therapists don't take it. That's what I discovered too. Yeah.
What would you do to make sure everyone can have access so they can take care of their mental health, get access to therapy?
Investment by private sector, public sector is really important, and it could go and really help this country bring down levels of violence. There's a lot of things we could be doing.
Subsidize the cost?
We should, yeah. We already do subsidize the cost, but it's not reflective of how much the true cost is.
Katie, he briefly talked about reproductive care as well, saying what most congressional Democrats have said. They're trying to codify abortion rights at the federal level.
Right. A lot of people want to hear about that. They also want to know about the economy. I know you asked him about that. It's been one of the topics we talked about with all of our Senate candidates. But specifically, you asked about the expiring Trump-era tax credits. I'm curious what he had to say about that.
Yeah, Gallego gave the former president some credit. He said he wants to maintain certain middle-class tax cuts, and he also wants to do exemptions for small businesses. He's also looking to explore raising taxes on individuals who make $400,000 or more per year.
All right, we appreciate your interview, and we want to let you know you can watch the entire sit-down with Gallego on ABC 15's website right now. As we said before this interview, you have made it clear you want to hear where these candidates stand on the issues. Tired of the name-calling, tired of the mudslinging. We intend to get you that information ahead of election time. Right now on ABC15.com, you'll find the full interview. You can also find those we've done with Gallego's top opponents as well, Kari Lake and Sheriff Mark Lamb. Ben, thank you.